Let's rank these 21 really common, or in some cases not so common, yielding isometric exercises. These are exercises that anyone can do with just their body weight, no additional equipment, except I guess maybe one, which is the pull-up hold, which requires a bar. Okay, so I guess that's the only exception. We're going to grade them on 3 things. 1 is effectiveness. How effective is it at building strength and endurance? 2 is the stability and control. Is it hard to hold this movement? Is it easy to hold this movement? And 3 is its carry over into its dynamic equivalent helpful? For example, would doing a dip hold carry over well into its dynamic equivalent, which is bench dips? Let's get started. This is good, and this is probably going to be controversial, and that's okay. And we're going to start with our first exercise, which is the calf raise hold. This is one that I personally like, but it's not about my personal likes. It's about how good is this exercise. Let's see, effectiveness. It is very effective at building the calves. If you think about like ballerinas and what's another good one? Soccer players, right? They're on their feet all the time. But not just like on their feet as in building up their thighs. I'm talking about them calves too. Right? Like, look at these players, okay? Look at their calves. You know what I'm talking about. It's time under tension, a lot of time under tension. Stability and control, how well can you maintain this? I mean, it's pretty simple. And the carryover to movement is pretty freaking good. I would be challenged to think otherwise. I would have to say that this gets an A. Because this is good at building endurance, I wouldn't necessarily say this is good for building strength. Honestly, I was kind of fighting for it to go into B because the strength is kind of okay. But I have to give it an A. Calves are notoriously hard to build, and so it's a lot of the time it's because we don't have enough time and attention for it. So if you see any successful calf raise tutorial on YouTube, they're telling you to slow the movement down. It needs time and attention for those. Dead hang time. Dead hang, I have to give it a C. The dead hang is effective, but I mean, as far as like translating into the pull-up, this is kind of like a bridge the gap exercise into pull-up holds. Pull-up holds is not getting a C, I can tell you that right now. Just not a chance. But this is, like I said, this is the bridge the gap. It's okay. I would say it's okay. And again, for any of these, I mean, feel free to comment down below, you know, what your thoughts are. I really can't see this as more than a C, and the only reason it was even in my video for the pull-up hold is because it was a bridge the gap exercise. Here's a really good one. Ain't no way it's not getting an A. This is the dip hold. Dips have been a staple of mine for working out for many years. It's one of the, I wouldn't say few exercises, but I guess not too many tricep exercises that are good work all 3 heads of the tricep, and the dips do. And the dip holds are fantastic as a finisher to your calisthenic finisher. So you will feel the burn as long as you're down in that 90-degree position, really feeling the triceps burn. I mean, this is definitely A tier. Definitely A tier. Ready for the first S tier? Yeah, baby. It's the elbow plank. Every movement. If you've been following me for a while, you know exactly what I'm about to say, don't you, right? Every movement that the human body can produce, it stems from your core. You can become fairly strong not training your core directly, but you will never be as strong. You will never be as strong as you could be if you did train your core. So if you took 2 athletes and one trained their core and the other one didn't, and they're both strong, the one that trained their core is just going to be stronger. It's just, it is what it is. Every single movement comes from your center. So if that core is weak, you are not at the best possible potential. You get what I'm saying? I'm sure there's a better way to articulate that, but you get my point. That is S tier, 100%. Great finisher for the core. Let's go into a this one. it's a bridge the gap. Stability is definitely going to take a hit here because this is the hard one. And that is the frog stand. This is a precursor to your push-up. I'm sorry, for your handstand hold. And handstand hold is coming up. As far as what this does, it's great, but I mean, how effective is it at building strength and endurance? I mean, endurance is fantastic. Stability and control, not so much. I mean, well, when you end up mastering this, I mean, your stability and control is amazing. And not too many people that I know can do this. And I know people that have been lifting for many years, but just because somebody has a muscular build, it doesn't mean that they are athletic. And what I mean by that is, like, somebody might be able to squat 315, 405, but they can't do a sissy squat. You've seen that on YouTube. I have. And that's just one example. There's plenty of them. It doesn't mean that strength transfers throughout the entire range. You know, a fantastic sprinter isn't necessarily the best rock climber. You feel me? Right? So, with that, I would say... All right, I'm being mean. I'm gonna give that a B. I'm gonna give that a B. What do you think about this one? Comment below what you think about this. So this is kind of hard for me. And when I was making this this video up and I grabbed this, I knew this was gonna trip me up. That's kind of why I wanted to do it early. This is not going to trip me up. This is A tier. This is the glute bridge. The glute bridge is a fantastic exercise. One of the reasons why people have lower back issues, yes, their core is weak, but it's also because their glutes are weak. And, you know, I can tell you my own personal story about how I fixed up my glutes and I don't have lower back issues anymore. But I was plagued with lower back issues back in the beginning of this channel's history because my glutes were weak and I thought I could just deadlift and squat to my heart's content without working the biggest muscle in the human body, which was stupid, and I paid for it. And I make sure that my clients don't make the same mistake. I should have known better, right? Fantastic exercise, highly recommended, fantastic leg day finisher. Let's talk about this one. I am probably going to put it in B tier. If you can do a handstand, not even a handstand push-up, that's insane, and that's dynamic, it's not static, obviously, but this is incredible. The only thing... Actually, no, I can't in good conscience put that in B, because one, this is the precursor to that, and two, I mean, if you're able to do that, I know y'all, some of y'all are like, how is this not S? How is this not S? Well, remember, how well can you maintain this? Okay, I mean, if you've been doing it for a long time, I guess you can maintain, like, the stability and control of this is incredible. But it's like, it's the overall bang for buck. What are you getting? What are you getting out of this? Shoulders development is incredible, right? You're getting balance. You're getting tricep work isometrically as well. A little core involved, but I can't... As far as, like, everything you get from the plank, I can't... You know what? Some of y'all might put that at S, and I wouldn't even debate you on it. So, but I have to give it an A. I can't give it anything less than an A, that's for sure. This one I'm not really a fan of, and that is the hollow body. The hollow body is a good beginner exercise. Its carryover into movement is okay. I mean, you know, I guess we're doing, what, crunches, right? That would be the carryover, and your dynamic, next step dynamic exercise from this. I haven't really prescribed this to too many clients. I usually prefer them to do the elbow plank. Mainly from, like, any type of lower back. I just don't like to have my clients on their back, at least to start, unless they're already coming in at some type of decent fitness level. but I guess that's just my experience as a personal trainer. So I guess that kind of influences my decision here. As far as what you get, though, I mean, stability, control, and effectiveness are, stability and control are good. Effectiveness, as far as like strength and endurance, is okay. I would probably put it at B. Here comes another S tier. This is horse stance. By far the best lower body exercise on this list. I know that's a strong statement, isn't it? Because we have some good ones. You see the wall sit coming up soon. It's at the end of the video. The reason why I have to put horse stance in S tier, to me, this is the lower body equivalent of the plank. It's not just your quads, hams, and glutes. Obviously, those are getting worked. But when you really sit down into it, just like you see in this photo, a good horse stance is really going to challenge you, and you don't need to hold it long to really start to feel the benefits of horse stance. I kind of covered that in my video, which you can see here. But it's when you sit down and hold the horse stance correctly, not having the legs up like this. I mean having your thighs parallel to the ground like that image you see right there. I remember when I used to take martial arts as a kid, and my instructor, for some of y'all that are new, I used to take martial arts in the Bronx when I was a little kid, and our instructor took a ruler and smacked our legs if we weren't sitting into it. That hurt, man. But it made us sit into that horse stance. I don't even think I was 6 years old. Yeah, I mean, but it was, maybe I was 6. It was forever ago. My point. But yeah, when you do horse stance properly, the benefits are incredible. Definitely check that video out if you haven't. But the next exercise is the L sit. I have to give this an A. I like the L sit. I personally cannot do that, but just because I am unable to perform this exercise doesn't mean it's not effective. The balance benefits that you get from L-sit is absolutely incredible. I actually have seen a couple of practitioners over the years who are capable of doing this. These are usually like your calisthenics build guys. And that's awesome. And it looks so simple. That's tough. That's tough. Your core is engaged, your shoulders are engaged, your triceps are engaged, and you are getting balance up the wazoo. I would say that, I know you guys are probably gonna be like, what are you talking about? I would still say that the plank is better, but the L-sit, I mean, it's hard. This is hard. If we were just talking about like the most difficult to perform ones, I mean, these two right here would be S tier. I mean, if we're just talking about, whoa, check out that guy at the gym, he does all this crazy stuff, these would be that crazy stuff. These two right here, and there's 2 more in here that will qualify as that crazy stuff. And this is the next that crazy stuff, and that is, what is this called again? This is the planche, I believe, right? Another one I can't do. I am really hard pressed not to give this I really want to give it an S. I'm gonna give it an S. Here's why. First of all, look at this. Look at the balance that's required for this. So you might be like, well, Chris, how are you gonna get? Okay, this is you're straight up vertical. The L-sit is tough, but if you just simply look at this photo, right? What's all involved here? All right. So first of all, amazing wrist mobility. Here's my wrist mobility, guys. It's just been crap since I was born. Sure, I can work on it, but fantastic balance. This is core personified. I have never seen anyone able to do this in person. Online, sure, that's a different beast. Never. The craziest calisthenic or isometric hold I've ever seen over the years would be this and this. I have never seen anyone do this. I believe that Hampton from Hybrid Calisthenics can do this because he is a freaking beast. He can do all the crazy stuff that I can't. Just definitely check his video out if you haven't seen any of his videos on calisthenics. It's absolutely phenomenal. Planche is S tier. I can't give it anything less than S. I'm sorry. The push-up hold. This gets a. to give it an S. I want to give it an S. I want to give it. Think about it, right? So what am I grading these on, right? Effectiveness, stability and control, and carry over into movement. Carry over into movement is immediately S. It's a push-up hold. All you have to do is literally go up, and you are into a push-up. The stability and control, how well can you maintain? This is not hard to maintain, so it's automatically... I'm going to give it an A. I'm going to give it an A. This is very effective. The endurance is great. The activation of muscle could be a little better. The strength could be a little better, but this is a great bridge the gap. This would be like the isometric bridge the gap exercise of kneeling push-ups. So it's just my opinion. You might battle that out in the comments below, but that's what I would say. Here comes our first D tier. Okay. You might be thinking, all right, reverse plank is a good exercise, but is it though? I mean, it's kind of like there are exercises that we can perform that are maybe they look crazy or, you know, we get a benefit, but like, what is it? What are you? I guess the question is, what are we training for? The reverse plank, I just feel like for what you're doing, it's a fusion of the glute bridge and the plank. But why not just do both of them and work just directly on it? I guess that's just my thought process. To carry over into movement, there is no carryover. What movement? What movement is this? What movement is this? Okay, you might have, if you know the movement to the reverse plank, comment below. But what, I just think there's better bang for buck. Here comes a nice, solid B tier exercise. We need some C's. There is a C coming. There's a C coming for sure. You guys might debate my next C. The oblique plank, I really like because obliques, the love handle, essentially, right? And everybody wants to train their core and get rid of love handles, but you know, a good fitness influencer, a wise fitness influencer will tell the person asking that question that you can't just spot reduce, right? We know that you have to reduce body fat throughout your entire body to hit the love handles, and obviously clean up your eating. That's 8% the battle with any type of body fat, okay? But as far as building obliques, this is a great exercise. Carry over into movement. What are we doing? Hip dips, you know, but stability and control is phenomenal. Effectiveness, phenomenal. Just no real carryover. But unless you want to talk about holding groceries, you know, but I mean, that's just that's the horizontal version of that. Okay, with that, you might squeeze it to A. This is not an S, but it's B or A. It could be either or. So that's up to you. Oh boy. Okay. This is another one when I was making this video. And now I have personal experience with this next one. And if you've ever done it, it is hard. And your lower abs are on fire. This is the precursor to the leg lift. This is the 6 inches exercise. Oh, guys, I have to give this an S. This is by far the most painful isometric ab exercise I have ever done in my entire life. And I've held elbow planks for decent amounts of time. The 6 inches is just tough. Here's what you're getting with this. All right, the effectiveness of your core is just fantastic. If you've ever done a leg raise, you know, historically, from the very first time I started personal training, even doing leg lifts myself, out of all 3 core abdominal exercises that I perform on a daily, on a weekly, abdominal crunch, torso rotation, and the leg lift. By far the hardest of those three is the leg lift. I mean, this is by far the hardest. It targets the lower abs really well. I mean, really well. But there are some practitioners that are just getting into fitness and they can't do a leg lift. That's fine. Excuse me. That's fine. So usually with the 6 inches, to go into that and they're just starting, they need to put their hands in the small of their lower back, which is great. Okay, maybe some type of cushion, a pillow, whatever. And it does not take long. It does not take long to feel that. I guess some people might debate the burn of the plank versus the burn of the 6 inches. If you have never done 6 inches, go ahead and do this. Go ahead and do this right now. Pause the video and do a 6 inches right now. Make sure, just like this photo, and make sure those heels are not too high, not too low, but exactly as the name implies, 6 inches. 15 seconds, you want to be on fire. Like I said, precursor to leg lift, one of the tougher abdominal exercises. Stability and control is off the charts for this. I mean, this is great. I guess debatable, but aren't all of these? This is, in my opinion, this is S tier, because the core is everything again, so S tier there, but okay. Squat hold. Well, the squat hold, the carryover in the movement is obviously an S because it's a squat hold, so it's going to go into a squat, obviously. Stability and control. Effectiveness, I mean, I don't know, guys. Because I just feel like if you're able to do this, then you should do the S tier horse stance because you're getting the adductors as well. The squat, y'all are gonna be like, you are out of your mind. I'm giving it a B. Okay, B doesn't mean bad, by the way. B for bad. I didn't even mean to do that. It doesn't mean bad. It's just, it's not C tier. I can't, in good conscience, give the squat hold a C or a D. Like, that'd be ridiculous. There is no F tier on this list, and it would never be there. You hold the squat hold in the middle of the room for long enough, you will feel it. But I challenge you to hold a squat hold here, just like hands out in front, and you hold a horse stance. You tell me what's going to be killing you more. You know what? I'll just leave it at that, and let your body tell me the answer. The V-sit. I like this exercise. This is an A. This is looking kind of, man, where are the crappy ones, right? Sorry, it's really hard for me to give a core anything less than a B. Like I said, the hollow body is, it's, I don't know, it's kind of mid. It's kind of mid, bro. But the V-sit is, first of all, balance, all right? Look at that. Balance, straight up balance. This is a lot harder than it looks, especially if you are working on your core and it's not really good yet. If you have ever tried this and you just kind of fell right back, it's tough. I have to give it an A. I guess I could go more into it, but this is an A. This next one. The reason why this next one is hard is because it kind of challenges my belief on another one that's I still have not done yet. I'm sure you can put two and two together. Would you believe me if I said this is floating towards a C? Oh man, but it's effective. I have to. Okay, all right. Hear me out. Reason with me. You want to really build up your legs, right? Let's say one of the greatest benefits of isometric training is that you don't beat the crap out of your joints. So if you're an older practitioner, isos are like Like, it's just, these things are shimmering with gold. These are fantastic exercises if your joints are beat up from pushing yourself over the years. These youngins don't know. And if you are a youngin, pay attention to this, because this can help you with your lifts right now so that you're not one of the beat up old guys later, right? I used to lift 405, I used to squat 500, but now my joints, you don't have to be that guy, by the way. All right, watch my stuff. my veteran subscribers are like, yes, listen, please. I'm trying to help you out so you can continue to lift in your old age with no joint issues. Isometrics are so sick for that. Tangent. Back on topic. Wall sit. Here's your progression. Wall sit. Okay, I'm gonna circle it. I wish I could like highlight, but I don't know how to do that. Wall sit. Step 1. Step 2, squat hold in the middle of the floor. Step 3, horse stance. Yeah? The squat hold, the reason why, the reason why wall sit is a C is because there's no real stability. I mean, I guess you can say that, you're trying to keep stable by not sliding down the wall, but you're taking a complete plane out of the movement. Movement, isometric, no movement, you get my joke. You know what I mean? But my point is this. Once you leave the wall, your body is working more just to hold that position. Once you eliminate an entire plane, then it doesn't have to work as hard. Doesn't mean the wall sit is poop. It's not D tier, but it's a start exercise. Okay, it definitely has a carryover into the squat. Actually, it doesn't have a carryover. Oh, I'm sorry. What was I saying? It definitely fails at carryover. As far as like building strength, yes. As far as building endurance, yes. Effectiveness, strength and endurance, yeah, they go up. It's just not as good as when you're out in the middle of the floor. Just makes sense, right? Don't hate me. Don't hate me. What are you doing, right? Okay. Have you been, okay, answer this question and then honestly answer this next question. I want y'all to honestly answer the next question after you answer this first one. First question, have you been lifting over a year? Consistently. I would say 2 to 3 times a week. And you've been working your core. Okay? If the answer is yes, and you have done a Superman hold after that, are these challenging to you? Be honest. Be honest. Now, I've done Superman holds. I'm not saying I'm just... What time is it, bro? I'm ready to go eat. Like, I'm not saying that it's just... Okay, it's bang for buck. Right? First of all, what carryover is this? Second, stability and control. Okay, stability and control is okay. Effectiveness is okay. There are just better exercises. To me, this is kind of dated. It'd be like me comparing good mornings to RDLs. Now I know that good mornings kind of gained a little bit of traction recently. I think some famous influencer was talking about good mornings. I personally am not going to put my lower back at risk just to flex on a video. I don't know. You might find an issue with what I just said, and that's fine. If you want to do good mornings, go for it. I would rather do RDL and have the freaking weight in front of me where I can just drop it versus having the weight on top of my head. And if I'm not able to perform the movement, I'm getting folded. Like, what? So, a tangent aside, I can't in good conscience give the Superman anything more than a D. I don't know, maybe you can. Good. Okay, that's fine. Pull-up hold. First of all, you see where the dead hang is, right? That's a precursor to this one. The pull-up hold, I have to give it an A. The pull-up hold is such a great exercise for helping someone get to pull-ups. Pull-ups tend to be more difficult as far as like the traditional calisthenic exercises, obviously the more you weigh, the more difficult a pull-up is, and that kind of goes for just about any calisthenics. But particularly more for pull-up, you are asking your back and your biceps, and yes, your forearms as well, to do all the work. It's pulling up your entire body weight. And not just here, right? The entire body weight. The benefits, I have always been smoked whenever I performed a pull-up. Literally from day one up until, well, I couldn't do a pull-up day one for one. But even now, like, you know, I'll have my workouts be, I'm not talking about Isometric right now. I'm just talking about like in the weight room, lat pull downs, cable rows. This is not a flex. I can max both of them out. The typical Life Fitness cable row, all the way down to 260 counts. I can do that. I have footage on the channel. The lat pull down, same thing. Wide grip, come all the way down. I can max that out 260. The pull up is still one of the best back and bicep finishers I have ever included into any program. I feel the same way with dips, which is why I love them, and it's also A tier. I mean, it's a great exercise. I highly recommend that. Okay, I guess we're on to this last one. You ready? Okay, before I put this up, based off of what I've done so far, as far as ranking carryover to movement, stability and control, and overall effectiveness of a workout, where do you think I'm going to put this lunge hold? Y'all know what I'm about. Okay. Let me start by telling you a story. Okay? I am 35 years old. Anybody remember Shaun T's Insanity from like the mid 2000s? Okay, if you have never heard of that, you're probably too young. If you have, dude, to this day, I've done hard workouts in my life. To this day, Insanity ranks #1 for most difficult workout program I have ever done in my entire life. My lungs are on fire. My freaking willpower was shot. My muscular endurance, what muscular endurance? It built muscular endurance though. But I remember this one circuit. So essentially with Insanity, you were doing what's called reverse hit, where instead of like you would do 3 or 4 exercises in a row and only a 30-second rest. It's insane. Okay, like, okay. Anyway, one of the circuits that Shaun had us doing was just lunges. So it's jumping lunges, so plyometric, lunge pulses, and then lunge hold. Dude, it's not that the plyometric lunges and the lunge pulses were hard. They were already hard. Excuse me, but as soon as you hold that lunge, dude, you are praying to God that timer hits 0, okay? Because we're putting all of your body weight on your already shot leg. Singular, okay? And then he would make you hold it for the other one too. Oh my God. Go ahead and watch that. I challenge you to go find an old video. I mean, that's probably over 10 years old. It's an old video. And see what those people's faces look like when they were doing that. Like, everybody was groaning. Ah! Now hold it. Ah! Like, oh my God, dude. So the carryover in the lunges is pretty direct, yeah? But also the balance is fantastic. So stability control is S tier, effectiveness S tier, works on imbalances between legs, getting a tiny bit of calf, a very tiny bit, but I mean, it's primarily quadricep and hamstring. There's no way this isn't an S tier. But that's my rank, okay? I know you guys might debate the D, you might debate the C. I don't know, I feel like this is fairly solid. But what are your thoughts? Go ahead and comment below. I'm sure you have differences of opinion, which is totally healthy and fine. Comment them down below. And if you want another tier list, I have one for the Isomax bar and chain isometrics. that are just about overcoming isometric. So this is yielding. If you want the overcoming isometric video, I highly recommend you check the link out here, and we will see you there.